Hi, this is Angela with midmodernmama.com, and today I'm going to show you how to convert any mask with ear loops into one that is more comfortable and is easier to wear, especially for kids. But frankly, this is how I wear my masks too. When the pandemic started, I made masks in several different configurations. And we kind of tested to see what was the most comfortable, and this is by far the most comfortable way for my whole family to wear a mask. So if you have a mask with ear loops, here's what you're going to need to convert it. You'll need some elastic, about 20 inches, depending on your head size, and that's going to vary widely. I also like a wider elastic. I think it stays better, especially if there's something like for your kids to wear to school all day long, or you have to wear it to work all day long. The wider the elastic is, the more comfortable it is, in my opinion, and also you don't need to adjust it as much. You'll also need some scissors, and then I'm going to show you a way that if you do so, you could convert your masks also. This is a no-sew project, but you could sew it. And so I have a seam ripper and I have a safety pin as well. Now let's talk about elastic. I will tell you, because it has been hard to find, especially in some parts of the country, one of the best sources of elastic for this project is the waistband from Kids Underwear. It's actually the perfect elastic for this, and we had outgrown some underwear, so I have several masks that have been converted this way using waistbands, and just turn it the other way so no one can see the Gymboree logo. So here's what you do. You need a piece of elastic that's cut to be about 20 inches long. That's a good starting place. You may end up trimming it. And then you take the loops and you're going to thread it through one and then the other. So it's like this. And then you're going to tie a knot. That is as hard as it gets. If you sew, you could also overlap these and just zigzag them together, and it would stay with no problem whatsoever. And then when you put it on, one strap, and I'll tie this so you can see, one strap goes over the top of the person's head, and the other strap goes at the back of their neck. And this will hold everything on. When we convert these, we like to put the ear loops underneath our ears. That's a little bit more comfortable for us, but they could go around your ears depending on what size your loops are and what they're made of and how irritating that is for you. So I tend to put them underneath, but they can go above, or your ear could go right through here. But then one strap goes on the top of your head and the other strap goes behind your neck. So what I would do if you're doing this for kids, I would cut a bunch of elastic, size them all, and then have them try them on and adjust this knot so that it is super comfortable for them. They should never have to untie this knot. That's why you could sew it together if you wanted to. Now, I made this mask using my mask tutorial that has ear loops, and that means that it has little openings here, 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 and here. So I can convert this fairly easily to this type of mask in a more permanent way, and I'll show you how to do that too. This would work with almost any mask, and I think the easiest way probably to do this, especially if you don't sew, is to get a grommet kit. And if you put a grommet here and here, here and here, and I don't happen to have a grommet kit, or I would show you how to do that, but if you put grommets in those four corners, you could then do what I'm about to show you and thread the elastic through that way too, if you want to ditch your ear pieces entirely. That is up to you. That's kind of personal preference. It is not something that is necessary, depending on the security of your ear straps. If your ear straps are starting to fall apart, then that's another way that you could kind of rescue them. So I'm just going to unpick this and take this out. And what that's going to do is open up my mask so that I have a channel through which I can thread the longer elastic. And I'll show you how to do that. Let me get these open. So now I have removed the ear loops on these. And again, depending on how your mask is made, you can look at it and see if you could convert yours. But I really do think a grommet here and a grommet here and a grommet here and a grommet here would also do the trick. But the theory behind all of this is that you are going to take elastic and you're going to thread it through, and it will hold it tight to your face. So for this, I am going to use the thinner elastic because that's what I happen to have. And I'm going to cut a piece that's about 25 inches long. This is another thing where you might want to cut a piece that's a little bit bigger than you think what you think you're going to need, and then size it to the person's head because every head is a different size. So now you're going to take a safety pin and you're going to go through those holes and thread this elastic through. Take a look at how your mask is made. You might be able to open up some little holes there. There might be a seam that you can use to do this. These holes don't have to be sewn shut again, but you could hand sew them if you don't have a sewing machine. But really, there's no reason you have to sew that back up again. So if you have multiple layers, you can probably open up a little corner and do this too. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your safety pin and you pin it onto the end of the elastic. And that gives you something to grip as you're threading this through. And then you just kind of feed it through and you can feel it. I have 3 layers of fabric here plus a pleat, so it's going to take a little maneuvering to get it through. So that's through one side, and then you flip it over, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side, and don't lose this end inside your fabric. In fact, you could take a little clip or another safety pin or whatever and put it on the end of it if you're worried about it. My holes are so tight, there's no way that's going to happen. But then you just thread this through. Pull it out the other side. Okay, so now your mask is threaded through. And again, if you sew, take that safety pin off. Do not attach this. It's tempting to just safety pin this together. Don't do it. That'll come apart and stab somebody in the head. So now it can be, you want to get that nice and straight so it's not twisted in there at all or anything like that. And then just tie a knot or sew these together if you are a seamstress. Get it nice and, put it on the person, adjust the length again. And then with this, if your holes here are big enough, once it's perfectly adjusted, you can even slide this through and tuck the ends inside one side or the other, and it will stay. And then that's perfect and ready to go and easy to wear. Bye. Thanks so much for watching.